to be the Hilula on this month of a great rabbi, actually from Spain. His name was Rabbi Menahem ben Aaron ibn Zerah. Zecher Tzadik Libracha. We're not actually too sure on the date of his passing in of itself, but it's reported over that it was in the month of Av. He actually came from great rabbinic heritage. His father was Rabbi Aaron, and we're going to explore the history of one of the great rabbis of the 14th century, respectively. Okay, so the great Chacham Rabbi Menahem, his father was Rabbi Aaron, as related before, and he suffered anti-Semitism, especially just before Rabbi Menahem was born. In the year 1306, there was an expulsion of Jews from France, it was reported over, and many of them went to Navarra and settled in an area called Estella. I believe this was in Spain, I think located on the southwest of the Pamplona, I think close actually to the borders of La Rioja and the Alava itself, respectively. So he actually was there very much for many of his early years. Rabbi Menahem was, especially in his youth. However, there was a lot of anti-Semitism that took place also over there, which was reported to have taken place on the 5th and 6th of March. There was a massacre, another cruel massacre in the year 1328. At that point in time, he was about 17, 18 years of age. And really sadly and horrifically, he lost his parents, and 4 of his younger brothers were slain due to anti-Semitism. It shows just throughout the centuries how cruel, unfortunately, how much anti-Semitism we've actually, unfortunately, suffered. Rabbi Menahem was also stricken very badly to the ground and was almost dead from his wounds. However, he was saved through the compassion of a knight. This happened to be a friend of his father's, and he was saved. He would later on go and study Torah under the great Rabbi Yoshua ibn Shoaib. Very, very great Rabbi Shoaib, one of the great rabbis from Spain, also of the 14th century in himself. And he went to an area called Alcala, and he joined Rabbi Yosef ibn al-Aish also. He studied the Gemara with him and various commentaries of the Tosfot in a great depth. And one of the main teachers of his was Rabbi Yehuda ben Asher, a very great rabbi. And he happened to be a German Gemara Talmudist, and would later on be a rabbi in Toledo, respectively. He was actually the son of Rabbeinu Asher also, and the brother also of Rabbi Yaakov ibn Asher, also really great rabbi. So actually learned under his auspices, and they actually went through pretty much most of Gemara together. And also they studied in the greatest depths of the Torah itself, respectively. In the year 1361, Rabbi Menahem actually succeeded Rabbi Yosef ibn al-Aish as a rabbi of Alcala. Very, very great and prominent position. And he spent there an 8-year tenure on this top position over there, teaching a huge amount of Gemara at that time at the highest level. Unfortunately, in the year 1368, a civil war broke out in that area, I believe, in Spain, and Rabbi Menahem lost most of his property, or possibly all of his property, and then he had to go to Toledo over there. It's actually interesting. Rabbi Don Shmuel Abarbanel took him under his protection over there. He was obviously one of the great rabbis of Spain, and enabled him actually to continue his studies for the rest of his life at the highest level. Rabbi Menahem passed away in Toledo on July 1385, the year 1385. We're talking about 640 years ago from the time of recording, approximately. Now, one of the great works that he actually wrote, I think very much was connected to the Abarbanel with regards to, because of the benefits of the Abarbanel, was the צידה לדרך. Very, very famous book. Very great book also. This work is reported over to be a magnificent, peculiar position among the different Torah law codes, let's just say, in itself, and was very, very unique. The author himself gives a hakdama, I believe, in the Sabionetta, in the page 166. And I think the main thrush of the book was to target, let's just say, the reader, the intelligent, the intellectual, rich Jewish people, associating with princesses and have like a high station and high amounts. And many of the readers would be very well versed with, let's just say, the most essential laws. It was targeting a high class, high intellectual reader over there. And it was sectioned into 5 different sections, 5 different parts over there. I think 372 subparts in these 5 sections respectively, which are summarized in 5 different areas. Over the first part was relating with regards to laws of tzitzit and tefillin and all the different, let's just say, sofer stam categories in general, I would assume, but mainly tzitzit and tefillin respectively. The second part was talking about forbidden foods. The third part was dealing with laws of kiddushin, marriage laws. The fourth part was talking about the Shabbat and the festivals, the Jewish festivals respectively, I believe. And the fifth part of this colossal great Torah work was talking about the Tanyot, the fast days, and also the laws of mourning, I believe Abelut also. And I think the last part itself had the chais on the with regards to talking about the times maybe of the Moshiach and the Tchiyat HaMeitim, the resurrection of resurrection of the dead people. Also, so it's actually, he brings ethical sides within regards to this magnificent, let's say, dinim law book in of itself. And it was one of the great Torah books that was out there. Much more can be said about it. I very much recommend everyone to research upon it. I think he talks about many of the different points, even with regards to Bereshit, creation in of itself. Many of the Torah stories was reported over that in Turin, in Italy, a manuscript of this was of the given law, kashrut, and slaughtering, how the shechita process goes around, and in depth, was excerpted from his larger work, and this manuscript apparently was in Turin. I'm not too sure at one stage if it's still there or anything else can be related over in regards to that, but it's considered one of the great Torah works, this is, of all time respectively. He was one of the great great Spanish rabbis, and especially of the 14th century, which we actually haven't related many videos within regards to great rabbis from the 13, 14, 1500s in this specific magnificent large series in of itself, but now we will try and concentrate on more of the books itself. I think the book was published for the first time in Ferrara, respectively also, and the famous rabbi, the צידה, actually brings about that the book was written for Rabbi Shmuel Abarbanel, who was obviously the minister of the king's court, and due to his troubles, he did not have much time to study, so I think it was maybe given because of that. This צידה is the famous Rabbi Chaim Yosef David Azle, one of the great Moroccan rabbis. I think he passed away in the year 1774, towards the end of the 18th century. And he also wrote an abridgment of the book of the Torah Tabot Hababov, with the goal that it should be read every single day, each of the chapters in the book, especially during the Aseret Yemei Teshuvah, the 10 days of penitence. This naturally is this time period between the time period of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, which we're coming into the month of Elul at the moment, and it's soon going to be obviously naturally the month of Tishrei. So the book was called the Torah Chovot HaLevavot over there. Very, very great book in of itself. So please, month of Av is this Yelula. It's this specific month itself. He passed away in Toledo in Spain, which we related before. He had obviously the nickname which we mentioned ago about the book was the Tzedel Derech also, and he was living in the kingdom of Navarra during his life. Please don't forget to light candles in his memory here in this month of Av, and learn more about the great rabbis of yesteryear. Wishing you all a good day. Take care.